Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and The Last of Us 2 are all three PC ports that I want to play this year. What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Mike Fury, and I'm making informative videos just like this one. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And very simple, welcome to the first video of the year, and these are the games I want to play in 2025. Let's start off with the Q1 focuses. These are the games that we are going to be tackling in the first few months of 2025, starting off with Dynasty Warriors Origins. Dynasty Warriors Origins, well, me and Dynasty Warriors just go way back, way back. I'm talking about Dynasty Warriors 3 for the PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken, but Dynasty Warriors 4 was the one that really got me going. And now I've played all of the spin-offs, Samurai Warriors, Warriors Orochi. I can't talk about it enough when it comes to palate cleansers. Dynasty Warriors is probably some of the best palate cleansers where you just shut off your brain. You just played, let's say you just played Metaphor ReFantazio, and that story is a world and a half. You can't just jump into the next big RPG. You're gonna start mixing in things. It's just not cool. You have to have something like a Sniper Elite, something like a Dynasty Warriors to just turn off your brain. You don't have to do too much thinking and just let the gameplay rule. And that's what I use Dynasty Warriors for. Origins is now taking a few bits of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's adding the personalized character, the customizable character, and it looks and plays awesome. And they even adding cues from Wolong Fallen Dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. This game looks awesome. I've already played the demo. It's available right now. Dynasty Warriors is definitely going to be one of those games that I'm like, ooh, that might be a sleeper hit or surprise hit of the year for some people who don't even know anything about Dynasty Warriors. So I'm going to be personally playing. That's going to be the very first game of the year. Next up is Avowed. Avowed is Obsidian, and again, another one I still haven't even finished the Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Beginner's Guide or Ultimate Guide. Still haven't finished it, but me and Obsidian go way back as well. Me and Obsidian, there are some of my favorite developers. Avowed seems to be basically, a lot of people are saying after the second round of gameplay, they're saying, oh, it has a lot more depth than we thought. It is not just Skyrim. It's just not Obsidian Skyrim. It is a lot more than just that. And I'm excited for it. So I'm excited for RPG elements for sure. Choice and consequence for sure. The magic system looks extremely interesting. I want to know how kinetic and how frenetic the gameplay, the actual combat could be, the hand-in-hand, because you could do dual wands, you could do wand in one hand and then a sword in another. I want to see how crazy we can get. I've seen the dialogue system. There's enough information out there for you, a lot of us, to make our own conclusion. Avowed is a day one play for me. Now, next up, apart from Avowed, we are gonna go into Suikoden 1 and 2. Suikoden 1 and 2, I've heard that they're amazing RPGs. There's not too much I can say about these games because I wasn't there for the PlayStation 1. I owned a PlayStation 1, but I wasn't aware of these games, and I just don't know enough about them, and I want to keep it that way because a lot of people say that Suikoden 2 is one of the greatest JRPGs ever constructed. That's what they say. I don't know. So I'm excited for that. That is going to be the third game that I play Q1, and the last two games that we will be talking about for Q1 are Atomfall, which is done by Rebellion. I had mentioned them earlier when we spoke about the Sniper Elite series. Atomfall is, imagine Stalker-esque, a little bit of Atomic Heart, a little bit of Fallout. There's this, when it comes to Rebellion, there's like this certain quirkiness to them, certain very humorous, very interesting worlds, a lot of creativity when it comes to their gameplay. So I'm excited for them just off of that, like, because they just know how to make fun game loops. It's just what it is. That's how they can do Zombie Army. That's how they could do Sniper Elite. That's how they can do. They've made a couple of other titles as well. So they've been fairly successful in their attempts to make different projects. So shout out to them. And I'm excited for Atomfall, and hopefully that's THQ. THQ almost never lets me down when it comes to giving me codes on time. So hopefully I get a code for Atomfall, and hopefully they do the whole legendary weapon thing so I can make a guide, because I absolutely love doing guides for games. Now, the last game that we will be talking about Q1 is Mandragora. I think it's on the borderline of Q1 and Q2. Mandragora is an indie game that I backed in Kickstarter, and I played the demo. The demo is hard. Imagine a Metroidvania or like a side scroller, but with a lot of depth to it. Like imagine what would be there's not really a lot of comparisons to them. Like you will create your own character. It has this very awesome story that is going around. It has very good visuals, fairly tough boss fights, and it's just powers, and there's different classes and everything like that. It's coming in at a pretty like hefty price at $39.99. So I'm expecting a lot. Well, what I've seen already from the demo, a lot of good quality, a lot of promise. Now, what I'm expecting is that a lot of people are going to look at that price and be like, okay, so it has to deliver. And I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to give us a great experience. I don't know how long it is. I can't tell you that much, but I do know that what I've played, I've enjoyed, and I'm excited for it as well. Now, those are the games that have already received release dates. Now we're going to talk about the games that are slated for 2025, but are not confirmed for 2025. We're going to be talking about a little bit of Xbox titles right now, and we can start off with Fable. Fable has a nice place in my heart as a person who absolutely loves 2, who almost beat the first one, and I almost beat 3 as well. The problem is that 3 is just 3 something else. I don't know what they were thinking with 3, but 1 is pretty good as an RPG is concerned, pretty good. 2 is just balls to the wall, funny as hell, great, and then 3 is, I don't know, a lot of really good ideas in paper, but just not really good execution. Let's call it that. That'd probably be the best way to put that. So we have that, we have Fable, and now with Playground Games doing them, I think the game is gonna look phenomenal, but I don't know, like this is where I expect them to be in conversation with Bethesda. I expect them to be in conversation with the RPG makers like Obsidian. I want to hear about them talking about the in-house studios, about the RPG makers, and literally be pulling from okay, not only are we going to pull from the past, but we need to understand what makes an RPG, because we've been making cars this whole entire time. Like, you get me? So that's the part that's really, really important to me, because if they hit the RPG elements and hit the life sim elements and then hit the humor of Fable is so important. So like farting in people's faces, burping, being absolutely obnoxious, wifing, having multiple wives and then having them catch you, like it is absolutely absurd. So Fable has to hit this certain tone and this certain humor and gameplay and just RPG elements in general. It has to be that awesome mix of life sim and RPG, and I can't wait to play it. It's slated for 2025. We don't know yet. Now, along with slated for 2025, we also have The Outer Worlds 2, and that came out very late as an announcement, very late. If I'm not mistaken, it was at the Game Awards. The awesomeness of The Outer Worlds 1, which was toned down, it was like a lot more condensed, a lot more focused, which I liked, because it didn't have to be this wide open world. There was a bunch of hub worlds, and it had really good choice and consequence, really good dialogue. It had amazing dialogue and really endearing characters. The issue with me was the gameplay did not lend itself to be more, I'll say, more Fallout New Vegas, or more like, it didn't allow you to be super creative. It kind of just had you play with the same weapons the whole entire time. I had some critiques about the gameplay, and I thought that you could branch out more. Same thing with the classes, branch out more. Like, same thing with everything. I just thought that it could have been a little bit more, which now hopefully they've just picked up everything that was good about 1 and made it into 2. I think the worlds of The Outer Worlds is absolutely phenomenal. Spacer's Choice and the whole, basically a business conglomerate controlling the galaxy and just having all the nastiness of business take over everywhere. It's just awesome. So I'm excited for The Outer Worlds. I just don't know if that's gonna come out this year. They might have just given us the date and be like, we might need to delay this later. Along with that, the final Xbox game will be Doom. Doom is awesome. Doom is absolutely awesome. Doom, The Dark Ages is, it's like almost a fever dream. It's like grabbing 2 concepts that should have never taken so long to make. Like, I expect Doom, like I'll share this with you guys. I expect Doom, The Dark Ages to be so good that it spawns more games like it. Like, that's my big thing. I think that the first Doom, the remake of Doom, when it came out, I think it was like 2016, like something along those lines, right? The one with the amazing soundtrack, even though the second one has a really good soundtrack as well. The whole like visceral nature of it was awesome and it was new to us. Then Eternal made it more of a song and dance and like this whole rhythm that you would kind of like, it would be a dance of destruction is what I called it when I reviewed it. It was this dance where you would shoot, reload, use your chainsaw, then from chainsaw you would get more reload or get more resources, and then use that with the different guns, and it was like this nice flow, this ebb and flow of just everything, and it was just you and just walking this path of destruction. Now with this one, you add both of those, the visceral dark nature of the first, you add the dance of destruction, and now you're adding medieval sword, shield. You already saw the saw shield that you can throw it like Captain America. I think it's going to be nuts. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I don't want, see, like if we're going to do the medieval thing, we could do some platforming. I think that Eternals did way too much platforming to my liking. I just think that we went way too much that way. But if you could reel that in and add more medieval to it, like way more medieval, like we already saw dragons. I want more. I want orc types. I want, like, I wouldn't say choice and consequence. That'd be absolutely nuts. But really, he'll hone into the medieval RPG elements. I'll sing the praises from every mountaintop if Doom the Dark Ages hits all of that. So those are the 3 Xbox titles. Then we have a bunch more. Death Stranding, I still haven't played the first one, but I'm excited for the second one. I'm excited for anything Hideo Kojima makes. That's why also on this list would be Metal Gear Solid Delta. We'll talk about that in a bit. Metal Gear Solid, Death Stranding 2 is quirky, it's interesting. Now there's a guy with a guitar sword and another samurai, and it's nuts. It's nuts. And I want to see what they do with it, because at the end of the day, he's going to get some of the best actors to voice his game. He's going to have this very interesting story. I'm excited for whatever he does. Talking about another creator that I absolutely love, Judas should be coming out this year as well. Now, if you don't know who Judas is the next project by Ken Levine. Ken Levine is the creator of BioShock. If you know me and you know my love for BioShock, it is insurmountable. It is uncalculable how much I love BioShock 1, 2, and 3. There's no lack of love for any of them. 2 has the best gameplay. I like to tell everybody, 1 has possibly the best story, and then 3 is probably the best. That's where it gets a little tough, but it has the most shocking ending. I will say that, because that ending is absolutely spectacular. A lot of people will fall off on it and be like, oh, it's not really that good. Yeah, after the second time, yeah, it's not that good, because you already know what happens. But boy, is all 3 of those games have redeeming qualities. All 3 of those games are fantastic. I want to see what he does now with Ghost Stories is his new studio, and this is going to be their first game. A lot of people are saying that it is a BioShock roguelite. I'm with it, because I love roguelikes, everything from Hades all the way to Wild Bastards, Void Bastards. I love them, and it's going to be a first-person shooter roguelike, and you play as Judas, according to what has been told so far. I'm dying to play it. Absolutely dying to play it. Mafia: The Old Country. Now, Mafia: The Old Country, I'm extremely excited for, mainly because we haven't had a new Mafia game in a fairly long time. New one because we had the remake of the original, and that one that one just did everything correct. That is the reason why I'm excited for it, because if the last one was 3, then I wouldn't be as excited for it, because they messed it up last time. But this time, since the remake is the last one, then they kind of know, okay, we can't just do rinse and repeat gameplay like we did in 3. And then I'm going to be playing 2, and I will be playing reviewing 1 as well. Mafia: The Old Country looks gritty, it looks dark, it's giving off Godfather vibes. I'm with it. We don't have to say much more than that. I am so with Hangar 13 and making a brand new Mafia game. Old Country is gonna be pretty darn good. Next up would be Kingmaker. Kingmaker is another palate cleanser like game, depending on, because we haven't gotten too much of the story, but you are literally traveling back in time. It happens to be like this almost Dynasty Warriors like, with a little bit of strategy involved and a little bit of army management, a little of that 4X strategy, if we're gonna call it something. It's cool. It looks absolutely weird. You are driving a truck through a field of knighted armor enemies. You have guns, grenade launchers, you have everything. It looks like a good time. It's going into early access. That's one of those titles that is like, all right, I'll bite. I'll bite. It's so interesting that you'll just be like, all right, even if it sucks, it might be good. Now on to the last 4 games. Metal Gear Solid Delta is probably might be my game of the year off of the sheer strength of how much I love Snake Eater. Snake Eater is one of my favorite games of all time. If they nail what it's looking like they're gonna nail, and making this brand new version of what is an instant classic for me, I'm with it. I am absolutely with it. There's no reason why we have to subject ourselves to old versions of some of the best games of all time. That's just my personal opinion. I'm okay with the remakes and the remasters and all of that stuff. If it was good in the past, make it work now in the future. Like that's my personal opinion. So I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're redoing audio, they're redoing visuals, they're redoing it's almost like a up from the ground remake, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But they're redoing everything, and now this glorious new engine, and it looks great. It looks absolutely great. I'm super excited for it. Next up would be Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It's another game that I absolutely are dying to play. Granted, it's had its problems. Granted, we might not even get a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. If I'm not mistaken, the publisher said it's been so problematic that we're not even thinking about doing a 3. The only way this will get a sequel is if they sell a lot and somebody's, but I just think that, like, to be honest, I just think that it takes a very special type of developer that understands that world to be able to make a game in that world. Like, there's been other World of Darkness games, but it's just like you need somebody like the people from Dishonored probably do an amazing job. The people who did Prey went on and left when Redfall was going on and created Wolfeye Studios, which did Weird West. If you gave them Weird West is a lot more similar to what you would want for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Like, it's a little strange, a little weird, but it has a little bit of humor to it. It has personality. Like, Weird West has all of that in droves. That is why you would want them to do like a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Not saying that this game ain't gonna be cool, but I'm just giving you the reasoning why the devs are so weird about it. But I think that it's going to be solid, even regardless of, we've had plenty of games that are like, damn, they went through hell and it came out good. Look at Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2, a lot of people love Dead Island 2. And that game, talk about years of development for that game to be as successful as it is. So I have faith in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. The last 2 games are indie games. First up being Mouse. Mouse is a really, really cool, if I'm not mistaken, it's an immersive sim in a black and white first-person shooter, old school cartoony aesthetic game. There's a lot of things. It is very interesting. I like the combat. It is a little gory, but it's cartoon gory. I think it's so unique and so interesting that it just has my attention right now. And then the last game is going to be called The Run. The Run is it's from the makers of the original NBA Streets game, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been the last 3 games or the last NBA Street games, but yeah, it is a spiritual successor to NBA Street, and I can't wait. It's just, again, one of those things that should have existed a long time ago, but you need a lot of chips in order to be able to make video games. So now a brand new NBA Street-like game, all they have to do is get the gameplay right, get the game modes right. You can have online support, have the tricks be phenomenal, and do not forget the personality. Do not forget the personality. One of the things we loved about him was the hip hop. One of the things we loved about it was the style, the clothing. You have to get all of these things right to have it be as successful. You cannot skimp out on some of the things that make the game the game. Please do not forget the personality. And that is it. That is it for today, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, found it helpful, found it informational, hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more videos like this. I still haven't released any of my, I'll say this, I do not believe in releasing all of my videos until the year has finished. I do not believe that. So now the first week of the year, you will get all of the videos that you guys have been waiting for this part. Now, I absolutely think that this is going to be another great year. This 2024 was pretty darn good, all things considered, coming off of 2023, which was like one of the greatest years of all time. Pretty good year 2024, and I'm expecting more or less the same for this year. And as always, thank you guys for watching. All dollar that keeps the landlord away. I'm your host, Mike Fury. It's been a complete pleasure. Until next time, Mike, off.